welcome back to Langrisser M News from the future. So right on part 2 of this video featuring October to November hero, and we'll be featuring this hero. His name is known as Jayce, and fans would like to call him Hein, or should I say Hein Otter, or Confidence Hein instead. Well, though personally I feel that he is definitely going to be much more of a Jessica Otter, the male version of Jessica. So alright, before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app, Soyu. And on first part of the video, be featuring some characters' background, relationship, voice pack. Then on moving on to the part 2, we'll be going through on his talent, faction, skills, and 3C. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. So alright, featuring Jayce, he is voiced by none other than Takahiro Mizushima, whom has previously voiced... Okay, I know the one on the right, but not the one on the left. The male, I think this is a male leading characters from the anime or anime or eroge White Album 2. Then on the right, I definitely know this guy is known as okay, my understanding of the pronunciation is Gawain or Gawain from Fate Extra. So one of the Knights of the Round Table, aka one of the servants from, you know, right, the Saber. So right, voiced by Takahiro Mizushima. If you're a fan of his voice, definitely gonna summon him. And not to mention, he is also one of a powerhouse from this banner, though he is not that strong compared to Dragon Mom, aka I saw that. But he's definitely like he's a situational hero. He can be ranged from tier 2 to almost tier 0, depending on the landscape, which we will be going through more later on when we go through his talent and skills. So this is the depiction of his normal artwork. So as you can see, it's very nice. So the first thing that comes to my mind is like this, like a male reincarnation, futuristic style of Jessica. So looking at a weapon of choice, you can tell that he's definitely a mage. There's no chance of him becoming like a close combat fighter. I definitely love his fashion wear, like this cool jeans with the shoes or boots, then going with this cape and a hood that can, well, protect him from rain. Okay, so currently the only disclosed relationship with other heroes is only I Saw That. So just a quick sharing. So the information provided is Jayce and I Saw That used to be comrades in battle. Well, under their hard work and effort, they managed to protect the peace of Toy War and managed to make a peace treaty to unite the kingdom there. And with the help of I Saw That, Jayce managed to put this known as the Forgotten Veil on the land of Toy War to help the living humans to forget what used to be war and pain. So long story short, that previously, because of the war that happened in Toy War, or the invasion from the cleanser or exterminator, so apparently Jayce is so strong too. As a mage, he managed to cast this protection magic called the Forgotten Veil to make those people to forget about this history that once happened, about the war that is going on that bring despair and sadness in this land. And together with Isolde, they managed to protect the peace of this continent in Toivor until now. And okay, last but not least, this artwork, chibi artwork that's being drawn by Grande Curie, Mao Xiaotu Liana. So I really appreciated the art drawn by this artist. It's very cute. And definitely not want to get your head whammed by this stick. This is Jay's boomstick. So alright, let us listen to how he speak.
俺の理想の旅はのんびり楽しいものなんだが、その願いを叶えるにはもう少し時間がかかりそうだな。
So as you can see from the speech, he's like a chill person, and just like what he's saying, what he said is, my dream traveling journey or my dream journey is want to be more relaxed and happy. However, looking at what is happening right now, I'm afraid it's gonna take some time before I can achieve this dream or wish. So yep, you can tell this like how chill it is. Okay, let's listen again.
俺の理想の旅はのんびり楽しいものなんだが、その願いを叶えるにはもう少し時間がかかりそうだな。
So alright, and before we carry on, so before we go to the part 2, just a quick sharing in case you guys are wondering that he is definitely one of the important person you need. You need to summon him too if you want to unlock Isolde bonds. However, you may not really need that because it's only useful for opening her HP and defense bond. For attack bond, Prisia is the more important one. So if you're moving for PvE matches, it's okay to give Jayce a miss, but if you're going for PvP, you definitely need him. So right, let's go to the part 2. Here we go. And alright, we come back to part 2 featuring Jayce, faction, talent, exclusive skills, and 3C. And apologize that I'm not able to provide more detail about him because the information provided by the official from Zilong itself is actually not as much as the one provided for Isolde. And not to mention that I have not summoned him yet by the time I make this video, so I'm not able to find out more about him. So alright, moving to his talent. Sorry, his faction. So Jayce is from the origin of light, Gallus and mythical realm, and this means he will be able to receive the faction buff power from Isolde, okay, and of course origin of light, and this is why I said he's Jessica author, because of the faction. And again, they have been giving quite a lot of faction from Gallus, so I'm gonna presume after this 3C for mythical realm, the next one might have a high chance to go for Gallus faction. So alright, moving to Jay's talent is very short compared to Dragon Mom. So the talent is as follows. The name is known as the Hope of World Traveling. So, and watch to the end for the information that I have translated, the skills effect I translated for you guys. Oh dear gosh, should have said that earlier, pardon. So alright, the talent effect as follows. Number 1, increase intelligence by 20%. Number 2, When you end your turn, the block you currently stand on will obtain the terrain with command aura effect known as Arcane Glow Mark. I'm gonna call it short form as AGM, Arcane Glow Mark, which is a short form. So AGM has the following effect and command aura effect. First, allies standing 2 blocks around it will gain attack and intelligence increment by 10%. Second, enemies 2 blocks around it will have magic defense reduced by 10%. So this terrain and buff and debuff effect will last for 2 turns. Number 3, after attacking, you can remove one ally's AGM mark and teleport to the point. Afterwards, you'll not be able to cast this effect again. And do note that AGM has a higher terrain coverage effect. So this is definitely a first, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like a first free terrain effect casters that has a free higher coverage. So unlike and the Kelmo, aka Yani, which have like has a CD upon casting teleportation mark, which has higher coverage, you need a few turns later on before you can cast again. So every time you end turn, you can create a higher terrain coverage, terrain effect, which is known as AGM, and it gives you command aura effect that can help buff your allies and debuff your enemies. Though it's like a lower buff and lower debuff. However, it's pretty cool. Then moving to the exclusive skills 1. On this part of the video, we'll be only going through exclusive skills, and only on the demo play we will be checking out all the skills. So fans who have been following my videos by now should have known. Oops. Alright, so this is his exclusive skill 1. The name is known as Light Vortex that breaks disasters, or you can known as disasters breakers, Light Vortex. Okay, so it's a 2C skills, has a CD of 3 turns, the range is 5 blocks, the AoE type is magical 3 blocks. So again, I repeat, the range is 5 blocks, and it's an AoE, so it's a 3x3 blocks AoE skills. So right, the effects are as follow. Number 1, deal 0.36 times AoE damage to enemies in range. Number 2, cause the target point location to have a 1-turn terrain with command aura effect known as Disaster Breaker Light Vortex. So if you notice, the naming of the skills and the naming of this command aura is only similar but not exactly the same. That's why of the different naming. Okay, Disaster Breaker Light Vortex has the following effect. First, enemies 2 blocks around it will have their magic defense reduced by 10%. Second, when you move out of the command aura range, which is 2 blocks, each block you move will cause an additional movement. Third, when you end your turn and is within the command aura range, you will be teleported to the middle point of Disaster Breaker Light Vortex. And do note that Disaster Breaker Light Vortex has a higher terrain coverage effect. So yeah, basically this is an upgraded version from the previous collaboration of Shining Resonance from the free characters Excella, which is a physical attacking heroine. So this time around we applies to a mage, so you can cast this AoE skills from a greater distance and while trying to jam the enemies, and at the same time providing additional debuff effect to reduce their magic defense. And if enemies try to move out from the vortex, the point of vortex, 2 blocks around it, each movement will cause an additional movement. If not, you'll be if not while staying inside the range, you will be sucked back to the middle point when you end your turn. And last but not least, it is a higher terrain coverage skill. So this means you can use this to help destroy the life orb created by Zeridas 2.0. Then moving on to the exclusive skill 2, as you can see right now, this is known as Arcane Flash. Is an act again skill, so it's a 1C skill, has a CD of 3, and the range is 5 blocks, and the AoE type is 1 block act again skills. So the effect are as follow. Number 1, target either allies AGM or a defensive terrain on the map and teleport to the location. Number 2, after teleportation, you can move 2 blocks and attack again. Number 3, when using these skills, act again effect, the buff turn you had will not be reduced. So it's like a usual act again skills. So it's like a double act again, I call it. So you can choose to teleport to your own arcane glow mark terrain or of defensive terrain on the map, teleport to the location, and afterwards you can still move 2 blocks and attack again. And because of the vast range, you're only able to move 2 blocks again. So they are trying to keep it or restrain it like Yanni's act again style. So after teleportations, you can only move 2 blocks. So okay, again, definitely gonna be considered strong because it's an act again skills, and well, you can teleport to your own AGM glow mark or any defense terrains 5 blocks within your reach. So that's pretty cool. And most of the things about Jayce is actually simple, short, and sweet compared to Dragon Mom. So that. Okay, so we're almost coming to the end. Last but not least is the 3C, known as Glowing Verdict. Or you can also go with Glowing Judgment. Okay, it's a 3C skills, has a CD of 3, the range is 3 blocks. The AoE type is magical single target. It has both passive and active. So we'll be going through all the passive first. So number 1, for each ally AGM on the map, increase damage deal by 10%. Maximum cap limit is at 30%. So max you're gonna go for like between 2 to 3 turns after combining with your act again, and you'll be creating 3 arcane glow map AGM on the map. So you increase your damage deal by maximum 30%. That's considered a lot, but even if not, the minimum you can actually do is between 1 to 2 gloma, which is around 10 to 20% in more generic situation. Okay, moving on to the active skills. The effect are as follow. Number 1, attack and deal 1.6 times damage to target enemy. Oh, that's a lot, 1.6 times. And not to mention you can stack with your passive damage. Number 2, ranged soldiers you bring will attack together. So yep, you heard it correctly. it is saying range soldiers you bring will attack together, not close combat, but range soldiers. And number 3, this skill is effective against mage class units. Sorry, correction. This skill is effective against non-mage class units. So if the enemies are anything but mage class, they will take additional effective damage. So this is pretty cool. Number 4, before battle, if the target enemy has already been affected by debuff effect that reduce magic defense, or should I say magic defense reduction effect, then this 3C attack will ignore guard. Number 5, if the enemy do not die from this attack, they will not be able to act next turn. This is actually a stunt effect. So how great it is, this definitely increase survivability for Jayce. Because going through to his talent that every time you end your turn you can create a GM, and not to mention the last point from his talent is that after attacking you can remove one of your allies' AGM mark and teleport back to it. And this is actually having great synergy with a 3C. So you see, first thing, this 3C skills deals 1.6 times is a lot. Next, as long as the enemy is not mage class, it will be effective, which I believe most mage by now would have changed to holy units because they can receive buff from Elma 2.0. Then last but not least, synergy with his other skills that will help reduce 10% of magic defense, and this 3C provide the synergy if the enemy has been affected by magic defense reduction effect, no matter how many percent it gave, as long as it states the debuff is magic defense reduction, this 3C attack will ignore guard. There's a high chance that the enemies will definitely die from it because 1.6 times, topping up with damage increment. But last but not least, if the enemies do not die from this attack, they will not be able to act again. They will not be able to act next turn, meaning they will be stunned. So after the attack, either the enemy die, you get to teleport back to your glow mark, which is definitely near. You'll definitely do some setup near your tank to guard you. Or if not, you do not want to teleport back, you are very confident the enemies will survive. They will just be stunned, so you just stay there and then give some follow-up next turn. However, do note that this stun effect can be dispelled. So again, if you're worried, you can still choose to have the option to teleport back to the save point. So either way, this 3C is actually very great. The condition to be met with is not very harsh. It's very easy, considering his 2C skills itself will give the command aura to provide a minus 10% magic defense reduction, and not to mention his own AGM glow mark will also provide magic defense reduction for any enemies standing 2 blocks around it. So yep, so as you can see, this is why it has been said that he, depending on the map, Jayce can be a tier 2 to almost tier 0 hero. So if the map has a lot of defense terrain, this is basically his home ground. He can effectively teleport around the place and jamming the enemies while making sure he survive he able to teleport back safely after he casts attacks against enemy. But what did you guys think? Do you guys think Jayce is strong, normal, or meh? Leave it down in the comment section below. So see you guys on next part of video featuring the demo play of Isodad and Jayce. This is Kami. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. See you guys, and stay to the end for the translations I did for you guys. Goodbye. Thank you guys for watching.